7:42 a.m., August 7th, 2019. In moments, technology will reshape a family's future. This is a story
Move in now! Copy that.
about algorithms and their human cost. 680 workers affected in one of the largest coordinated workplace operations in U.S. history.
Keep your hands up!
The tool involved? A sophisticated data aggregation system. Over 7 years,
Keep moving.
witnessed the evolution of a philosophy scholar into one of tech's most controversial figures. His name is Alex Karp. His company processes vast amounts of data for governments and corporations worldwide. From learning differences to law degree, from philosophy to programming. This is the unlikely path of a tech revolutionary. This is the story of Alex Karp and the rise of Palantir, here on Icons and Outlaws. Critics paint a dystopian future. Imagine AI systems that know your habits better than you do. This is the debate surrounding modern data analytics. But first, let's step back in time to an era before AI and even the internet. October 2nd, 1967. A Gen Xer enters the world who will challenge how we think about information and power. Born to parents active in social justice, their son Alex inherits their passion for change, channeled through technology. His father, a pediatrician, while his mother is an artist. 2 decades of education, law, philosophy, the study of human behavior, an unusual foundation for a tech CEO. Clearly an academic, Alex studies at Haverford College, Stanford Law School, and Goethe University in Frankfurt, Germany.
As of yet unconfirmed that a plane has hit the World Trade Center.
September 11th reshapes global security priorities. 2003, a philosophy student receives a call that will change his entire life trajectory. His Stanford classmate, Peter Thiel, has a vision focusing on data and security. The myth often credits Alex Karp as the founder and philosophical core of Palantir, but the paperwork tells a quieter story. It was Peter Thiel, Karp's Stanford classmate, who registered the company name with the SEC in 2003. He structured the founding team and seeded the capital. Palantir was his vision, a tool to bring post 9/11 intelligence analysis into the 21st century. The surveillance empire started with a signature, and it wasn't Karp's. Before it was a multi-billion-dollar surveillance empire, before IPOs and battlefield AI, it was a word from Middle-earth. In J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium, Palantiri were seeing stones, crystal orbs that let rulers peer across vast distances. Powerful, dangerous, corruptible. Peter, a lifelong fan of Tolkien, believed America needed its own seeing stone, a tool to detect threats before they struck. As mentioned earlier, he filed the paperwork with the SEC in 2003. The name he chose? Palantir Technologies. To Thiel, the future of national security lay not in armies, but in algorithms. And the name would be a warning as much as a promise. Anti-fraud technology could enhance security. The philosophy student now becomes CEO of a data analytics startup. Early government interest. The mission? Enhance national security through better data analysis. The team believes in the cause. By 2011, the technology proves its worth in major operations. The philosophy students' algorithms start to make headlines. Here's what's truly remarkable. Palantir went 17 years without generating profit. How does any company sustain that? Patient investors, government contracts, and leadership that promised future value would justify present losses. The technology expands its applications. New contracts, new capabilities, new questions about scope. 2017 operations raise internal concerns. Employees question the expanding use cases of their technology. 2018, internal discussions intensify. For years, Palantir called Silicon Valley home. But in 2020, Alex Karp made a radical decision to leave it behind. The reason? Culture war. The move symbolized more than geography. It was an ideological migration, a divorce from big tech's monoculture, and a warning shot across the industry. Karp believed that Silicon Valley's increasingly insular and ideological climate threatened his company's mission. In Denver, he saw a blank slate and fewer protests. Going public amid controversy. Then comes a compensation figure that sparks debate. $1.1 billion in executive compensation, among the highest in corporate America. The academic philosopher joins the billionaire class. Alex continues his metamorphosis. Physical fitness obsession. Unconventional management style. The philosophy student becomes a corporate warrior. 10 properties globally, from academic poverty to real estate empire. Each location, a workspace, each purchase, a statement. Alex discusses wealth inequality while accumulating properties. According to his adversaries, the contradictions multiply with the zeros. Beyond the public eye, yet another transformation unfolds. Karp joins one of the world's most exclusive circles, the Bilderberg Group Steering Committee, where tech meets politics behind closed doors. Among 120 invited leaders, Alex now helps decide who gets a seat at the table. The steering committee? Media moguls, bank chairs, former prime ministers, and Alex Karp, the only surveillance tech CEO with this level of access. Philosophy becomes policy influence at the highest levels. March 2024. Colorful language about market competitors goes viral.
I love burning the short sellers. Like almost nothing makes a human happier than taking the lines of and away from these short sellers who are going short on a truly great American company, not just ours, but just love pulling down great American companies so that they can pay for their Coke.
Corporate communications now enter uncharted territory. Another earnings call, another headline.
Well, I love the idea of getting a drone and having light-laced spraying on analysts who tried to screw us. So that's my lower purpose.
Unexpectedly, markets respond positively to Alex's unconventional approach. February 24th, 2022. As war erupts in Ukraine, Karp makes an unprecedented move. He becomes the first major Western tech CEO to visit Kyiv after the invasion.
But what's particularly interesting about this war situation is it turns out that hybrid war, meaning software plus low-grade munitions plus heroism, outperforms conventional war, which is one of the big lessons. And we've been in the background on this on the software side.
Palantir becomes responsible for most targeting decisions in Ukraine. Satellite imagery, drone feeds, intelligence reports, all processed in real time. The philosophy students' algorithms now decide life and death on European battlefields. Beyond warfare, another application emerges. Palantir partners with Ukraine's prosecutor general to map alleged war crimes. Alex now condemns campus activism. His transformation continues to accelerate. June 6, 2024. German filmmaker Klaus Stern attempts the definitive Karp documentary. Karp refuses to participate. Some stories resist simple telling. 2025. From studying philosophy to writing corporate philosophy, the academic comes full circle with the release of his book, The Technological Republic. Recognition at the highest levels. Time magazine names him among the world's most influential people. But with influence also comes controversy.
Essentially, we had a pagan religion that has infiltrated our universities, and that pagan religion basically says everything that's good about America, everything that actually works, is ipso facto bad.
When pro-Palestinian protests erupted on campuses, Karp's response? Reserve 180 positions specifically for Jewish college graduates. Corporate hiring becomes a political statement. From philosophy student to cultural warrior, each controversy builds his brand while alienating former allies. After criticizing market speculators, Alex executes one of the largest insider sales in tech history. He unloads $1.9 billion of Palantir stock, but even his supporters question the timing. 2025 becomes Karp's wealth explosion year. His net worth rockets from under $3 billion to over $12 billion. Yet he continues to sell more stock. Another $50 million worth in May of 2025 alone. The AI boom validates Karp's long-term vision. Palantir leaps into the top 10 most valuable U.S. tech companies. Vindication after 17 years of losses. Time magazine profiles him as the CEO, reshaping tech culture. While the world focuses on AI, Karp quietly builds something more fundamental. Apollo, the operating system connecting all Palantir's products. Karp's final gambit? Own the pipes, not just the water. Continuing his transformation, Karp frames everything as civilizational struggle. The philosophy student becomes a defense strategist. Every algorithm serves a larger war. Palantir's global reach expands. Defense partnerships worldwide. Each conflict, a new application for the technology.
Hybrid war, meaning software plus low-grade munitions plus heroism, outperforms conventional war, which is one of the big lessons. And we've been in the background on this on the software side.
The human cost of transformation. Over 300 employees depart from Palantir over ethical concerns since 2017.
And we built tools to protect people, and seeing them used for enforcement, not what we signed up for.
For every billionaire created, hundreds of idealists lost their way. Karp's vision continues to expand beyond surveillance. Apollo deploys across industries: banking, healthcare, and manufacturing. The ultimate prize, not just watching society, but running it.
What exactly is the street expecting, or analysts expecting, when it comes to Palantir's results?
Yeah, Dom, Street's expecting upside here in terms of the quarter, but I think Street's underestimated. I mean, we're seeing this AI revolution. Palantir is one of the leaders, and I think that's why they're the Messi of AI. And when it comes to the use cases on the enterprise, they're exploding. Look, I think next 2 to 3 years, this is $1 trillion market cap.
The data empire is at its peak. Billions in contracts. Hundreds of departures from the company over the years. From dyslexic child to data mogul. From struggling student to surveillance sovereign. The transformation is complete. Or is it just beginning? What happens when Karp's vision fully unfolds? When algorithms make more decisions than humans? A final puzzle emerges. Despite billions in revenue, Palantir barely adds employees. Just 98 new hires in 2 years.
Either they're incredibly efficient, or there's something unsustainable about their model.
The human element remains Palantir's greatest challenge. January 2025. As Trump returns to power, Karp's company becomes central to the new administration's agenda. The philosophy students' algorithms now serve presidential priorities. A 10-minute confrontation reveals Karp's transformation. The former progressive now frames dissent as enemy action.
So the primary source of death in Palestine is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are millions and millions of useful idiots that will...
Use that excuse. This is why you don't get a platform to speak. Because you are killing my people and you're justifying it because of Hamas or anyone else.
2025. 13 former employees break their silence, violating non-disclosure agreements to condemn their former employer. The letter warns of domino effects as Palantir tools enable mass deportations and data surveillance. Karp's shareholder letters become increasingly bizarre philosophical manifestos. From St. Augustine to Richard Nixon, from the New Testament to corporate warfare. The academic's final transformation, philosophy weaponized for profit.
We want a business that is completely differentiated than anyone else's so that people struggle to compete to the point where they just have to complain about you on TV, which is what happens to us every day. Everyone's complaining about, it's like, it's like that's what you want for your business.
June 2025. The New York Times reveals Palantir's most ambitious project yet. A master database combining tax records, medical data, immigration status, and social security information. Critics compare it to China's social credit system. The philosophy student who studied human dignity now catalogs American citizens. So where does this story lead? When innovation meets ethics, when security meets privacy, disruptors will invariably blaze their own trail. From near poverty to $12 billion. From peace activist parents to defense contractor. But these questions remain. In reshaping surveillance, did Alex Karp reshape himself? Or did power simply reveal who he always was?